Finally saying bye-bye to Archbishop Livingstone in Nkoyoyo. And as you can see, the clergy there leading the procession to take him to be led finally to his final home as he goes to meet the Lord in eternity. Now that means we have seen, we have talked, we have eulogized, we have done everything, and that is the last moment where we have an opportunity to actually, in Luganda we call it okuberise vanyuma, and it means anything to be said again after that time and after this day. We'll just be talking about the late Archbishop and just remembering the many things that is a place for which he decreed and decided that he shall be laid to rest. There was a plan, it was furnished, it was made ready, and ironically, you can imagine that maybe God spoke to his servant, and he possibly knew when he would go, because for the people who have been taking care of the place, said they made sure that every works there be done before this day. And you can't imagine that the works there were actually completed on Thursday, and the man of God died on Friday, meaning that he possibly knew that this day would come. But like we can say, it's a life lived, as the rest of us grapple to stay longer, and of course desiring that we want to live as long as we can. I think that's not the most important thing, but most important thing is what can be remembered of you. The Archbishop Ntagali, they actually say that what will people say about you on such days and on such occasions? People say all things. We remember you for being very good, remember you for doing that, for doing that, for doing that. But will they be genuine, like we've seen and witnessed today, as we say, fare thee well to Archbishop Mpalanyi Livingstone and Nkoyoyo. Let's continue watching and seeing what is actually happening as we lay the man of God to his final home in Nachianja in Namugongo today.
wakati mulago tolekufwa kale tunatutegaaliyo okugera wabekwe ayinama alina obusuku obw'ensonga obw'ebibirya byabwe naye ayi mukama katonda omuntu ennyo era asinga bonna obuyinza ayi omudogodogogo era asinga bonna ekisa tomuwayo omuntu obugi obw'okukwa obutakoma ng'omanyi akagajja tosobola tulaga ekisa okusaba kwaffe naye olusaasire mukama omutukuvu ennyo ayi katonda asinga bonna obuyinza ayi obulokozi obutukuvu alina okusaasira obulamu omulokozi obw'emirembe okukoza okukwa toleka kwa mukono gw'obuli bwonna ogw'okufa Nkoyoyo'S, dear departed, therefore committed to the crown, ashes, sure and certain hope of the resurrection of eternal life, through our Lord Jesus Christ, who shall return my body, and may be like unto his glorious body, according to the might of one being, whereby my soul will subdue all things to himself. I have the voice of heaven say unto me, Rise, from henceforth, blessed are the dead, which die in the Lord, and your soul saved the Spirit, for they shall rest from their labors. I come out of the millennium, without fear and guru, in the to the way, otwala mukemebwa naye otokole mu bubi. Amina. Almighty God, resume to you, ruling the spirit of them, the path, facing the road, and resume the souls of faithful after they are delivered from the burden of the flesh, and in joy and felicity. We give thee heart thanks for that it has pleased thee to deliver this our brother, Dr. Minister Nkoyoyo'S, out of that misery for this season of life. Seeking thee, and we thank thee, all thy faithful goodness. Don't be accomplished, never combine thee, and true testing, thank you. And we discover that our understanding, with the true faith of the Holy Name, we have and peace. Both and soul, and the family, and the husband.
Amen.
Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, in the resurrection and the life, whom whatsoever created shall live, and whosoever liveth,
Father, raise us from the place of sin and righteousness, that when we shall depart from life, we may rest in thee, as our Lord, our brother, Chris, and that we present, united, we found acceptable redemption, and receive that to
all that love and say, come, ye be blessed children of my Father. Receive the kingdom prepared for you from the beginning of the world. Grant it to thee, O Master Father, Jesus Christ, our mediator and our Redeemer.
Amen.
Also, slowly beyond understanding. Your gracious will, the family and group, our own children and grandchildren, and friends and relatives, and the Holy Spirit, come and minister to them, that they may not be overwhelmed by their sorrow, but grant them the peace that passes all understanding, and the strength to be there in Nazareth, through Jesus Christ our Lord.
Amen.
We commit all women, your unwomen, your unfailing love, and in them your will may be fulfilled, and we rejoice at the faithful witness of your sins made great, pray that we may share with them in the eternal kingdom through Jesus Christ our Lord.
Amen.
Peace of God, and understanding, keep your hearts and minds in the knowledge and love of God, and of your Son Jesus Christ our Lord. God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, be among you, the family, friends, and remain with you always.
Ya sola utana mukamawa vegaretero ute family bamukawagulu wali abanaziika nga baziika abanaziika mite wano muziike twambuka waggulu wali abooluganda kambase mukolere ekkubo abalabirizi tugende waggulu okusaako okusika okulaga omusika n'okumusabira family and the bishops and the clergy are moving up for the hair and prayers abatu naziika muyite omuziike minisita Jesu Muyimba tukwaniriza kama yebazibwe akulese tubasaba mukole ku abooluganda abalabirizi n'abazadde baito ate okwamuka waggulu wano basobole okulaga omusika n'okumusabira abataba kuziika osobola okujja nammwe ne muziika mpolampola ate nga n'okulaga omusika okugenda mu maaso erinnya lya Mukama lyebazibwe tukutendereza Yesu Yesu oli mwana wande omisa olunasiza wegaza omulokozi
Holy Mana Kandika, Om Sai Kunazisa, Nirasa, abamu mujje muyite wano abamu mujje muyite wano abamaze nga tugenda kati njagala abayita wano abayita wano nga tugenda njagala oteekemu oveewo oteekemu oveewo Para suranga
But you go there, let me go and look for them. Okay?
Like where?
Yeah, they're going to take it up. Let me come and call you on phone.
Release it. Release it. Up.
See?
Where? What camera?
I'm seeing only one the other side. They will go the other side.
Mu kiseera kino tugenda okutandika omukolo guno. Kansabe Bishop Kiseka awe essaala nga tuggulawo omukolo guno. Bishop Kazimba awe essaala nga tuggulawo.
Kale katusabe. Tukwebaza nnyo Katonda kitaffe ayinza byonna olw'ekirabo eky'obulamu. Tukwebaza kubanga omanyi okujja kwaffe mu nsi era omanyi bwe tubeerawo era ne woyinza okulabirira abo abasigadde ng'omukuffe ajjuluddwa. Tukwebaza olw'obulamu kwaffe kaakano gwe tumaze okuziika ate ne mu kiseera kino nga tugenda okulagibwa oyo yalondebwa okudda kakkanya ebirowoozo byaffe ayi Mukama era osangula amaziga gaffe ate onyweze essuubi lye tulina mu ggwe nti gwe abadde naffe mu biseera ebiyise oli naffe kaakano era gw'onootwolekeza ebiri mu maaso. Tusaba n'ekiseera kino kyefuge ekitiibwa kyo kirabike tuve wano nga mu byonna tugamba nti Mukama mu byonna akoze bulungi mu Yesu Kristo Mukama waffe. Amiina.
Tusaba olujja obw'ennyumba mu biti ebyo aleete omusika amutulaga bulage ekkanisa.
Sebo bakadde baffe Katonda mulabirizi maama Nkoyoyo Sebo Vice President Katikkiro Okiba Kesi Muyingo bakulu bonna bajja bano Sebo amanya gange nze Sekitoleko Saalongo Emmanuel.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, viewers of UBC TV, as you can now just watch, Archbishop Mpalany Livingstone Nkoyoyo has been laid to rest at his final home in Chianja at the Anglican Shrine in Namugongo. Just before he died, he actually decided that in his will he said he should be buried at Chianja, where he decided actually to be buried, and that's what we're actually witnessing today. Now, the ceremony that you are watching live on UBC TV is now the biblical order of installing the successor. When you read the Bible in the book of Joshua, that's normally what actually happens, and as you can see, the clergy there taking over and doing that.
Okuva mu ddungu n'olusozi n'Olebanooni okutuuka ku mugga omunene nga mugga Fulaati. Ensi yonna ey'Abakiiti era n'okutuuka ku nnyanja ennene ku luuyi olw'ebugwanjuba bwe waliba ensalo. Tewalibeera muntu yenna aliyingira okuyimirira mu maaso go ennaku zonna ez'obulamu bwo. Nga bwe nabeeranga ne Musa, bwe ntyo bwe nabeeranga naawe. Siikulabulirenga so siikulekenga. Damu amaanyi, guma omwoyo, kubanga ggwe basikiriza abantu bano ensi eno gye nayira bajjajja baabwe okugibawa. Naye mala okuddamu amaanyi n'okuguma ennyo omwoyo okwekuumanga okukola ng'amateeka gonna bwe gali Musa omuweereza wange ge yakulagira. Ekyamangu okugaleka ku mukono ogwa ddyo n'okubadde ogwa kkono olyoke obwongo omukisa buli gy'onoogenda yonna. Ekitabo kino eky'amateeka tekiivenga mu kamwako, naye onookirowoolezangamu emisana n'ekiro, olyoke weekuumenga okukola nga byonna bwe biri ebiwandiikiddwa, kubanga bw'onooterezanga bw'otyo ekkubo lyo era bw'onooweebwanga omukisa bw'otyo. Sinze nkulagidde, damu amaanyi, guma omwoyo, so toti. Kitundu.
All you need is the bell.
You can move back and erase
Zenedira mpologoma obuvunaanyizibwa bwankwasibwa munywanyi w'omukago sobole okubanjulira omusika. Saagala ofuuke wa mpologoma, njagala osigale ng'oli wantima. Nejjukira omusajja gw'ogenda okuddira mu bigere abadde musajja, totiitiranga, oyimiriranga n'oba musajja. Omusika gwebanjulira ye Isaac mwesigwa Nkoyoyo, era yono gwenkutte ku mukono. Ono yaŋŋamba nti bwenyanjulanga abasajja abakulu nga batudde, ono yamuddidde mu bigere. Yalaba ng'alina ebisaanyizo, yalaba ng'asaanidde okulembera banne, yalaba ng'asobola okulera nnamwandu, yalaba ng'asobola okutwala emirimu gy'oli nga bwe gibadde giri. Mwesigwa ng'erinnya lyo obeeranga mwesigwa. Otambulanga amasajja ng'omusajja ow'enkima, tokiikiranga. Beera mugumu, beera maama, beera baganda bo, kuuma olujja lwa Nkoyoyo. Nange nkutuuza ku ntebe eyo, esikiwanjiba. Mu linnya lya Kitaffe n'Omwana n'Omwoyo Omutukuvu. Simusaba layisi. ono gwe bagamba okwanjula era naye gwenyanjudde sinaayo mulala nsiri wanjima lwanguze nze ndi wa yesu ate mulanyi w'omukago kiki enyanjula omusajja wa katonda oyo badde Dr. Livingstone Nkoyoyo ku bigere era manyi kwakatono butera okukwasa abantu bayibuli baagimpa yino era njala nyikwesa obusabalabizi mwomanyi bono nyimukwasa nyinza okubanga nagimukwasa kyolukyo naye oluvanyuma nga lubedde eyosefu bona omusabirawo omusa
This is the word of God that will guide you to fulfill the responsibility that has been given to you. So it's my joy to give it to you as a sword to guide you in your life. In the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Amen. Let us pray. Lord God our Father, we commit to you your servant Isaac, who has been given the responsibility of taking over, and as the heir we pray for him. Bless him, bless his family as he takes responsibility. May you never leave him, as your word says. So we pray that you bless him, supply all his needs, the needs of the family, as they continue to rejoice and thank you for your love and protection. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And may the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be with you, Isaac, and the whole family, now and forever.
Welcome back from Namugongo Nachianja, the Anglican shrine where we've seen the laying down of the fallen Archbishop of former Archbishop of Uganda, Livingstone Nkoyoyo, who finally goes to live with the Lord forever. Now the Bible says when this man called King David actually lost his son, the Bible said after so many days, 3 days of fasting and not eating and not doing anything, not even smearing himself with oil, the Bible says when the son died, they came to him and told him, your beloved son has died. And he said, give me what to eat, give me water to bathe, and they're all shocked and surprised at what he did. But he told them fundamentally that where my son has gone is where I'll go, but my son will not return to me. So what we can only talk about the Archbishop is that he can never return to us. Where he's gone is where we also shall go. Not him to return to us, because he's lived in this life, he's been here, lived the life so well, and now he crosses over to the other life in eternity. So we can't see him back here, but we will only find him in that glory when we all finally get to go home. We've just witnessed his heir, his son Isaac Mwesigwa Nkoyoyo, who has actually now just been installed now as the successor of Livingstone Nkoyoyo. The family man there, the father in the home, the teacher, the mentor, and of course all the other things. Now the man here, Isaac Nkoyoyo, is not the heir of the Archbishop, but his father, Livingstone Nkoyoyo, as you continue to see and witness. All this has happened before the Chief Mona, His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, Edward Chwanka II, and of course all the other monarchs who have also witnessed this ceremony. Like I told you, this has just happened in the biblical way, the biblical order of actually installing and putting up an heir or a person like that. Well, again, just take you back to Namugongo at Nachianja, where all this is happening, and let's continue being part of what is happening before we finally move our troops from Namugongo back to the broadcast house. But let's now go back still to Nachianja, where all this is actually happening. Welcome.
Olwa Buganda yafe ekitiibwa kya Buganda kyavaga naffe tukikuumenga Katonda omulungi ow'ekisa otubere Mukama Sajo era omukomeza twesimye nnyo olwa Buganda yaffe ekitiibwa Buganda kyavata in thy heart, united free for liberty, together we all praise. Tugenda mu kifaananyi omusika agenda kutukulembera ne vice president ne Katikkiro wa Uganda ne Katikkiro wa Buganda n'abalabirizi wali waggulu ku veranda awo we tugenda ogenda n'oluvannyuma tujja kuvaawo nga tugoberera mukulu lujja ne baminisitaazi bonna tugende wali mu kifaananyi bwe tuvaayo awo mukulu lujja lwasi gwe tugoberera. Twagala okusiima abantu mwenna ekyamazima abawaddeyo omuwendo mu byonna bye mukoze. Twakwebaza Katonda olw'abawaddeyo ensimbi, Katonda yeebazibwe. Twakwebaza Katonda olwammwe abazze abakyaliwo ali n'abateeseteese nga mutaddemu amaanyi gammwe, aba museum, ab'obulabirizi obw'enjawulo, aba famire. Katonda affe yeebazibwe. Ab'endowooza Mukama b'omukisa, aba UCU Katonda yeebazibwe nnyo. Ate kampe muganda wange mukulu lujja amalirizeko bw'eryo.
Well, thank you so much. Now, this day goes in the books of history in Uganda, that it is on this day that the Archbishop Mpalanyi Livingstone Nkoyoyo was actually laid to rest at Nachianja. Now, there is nothing much we can talk again about this man. We've had stories, we've had from the different people, those who knew him, those whom he shepherded and did everything. We can only say that he's gone down in the books of history for every contribution that is done, not just to the country Uganda, but also the body of Christ in Uganda. His enormous contribution shall continue to be remembered. Now, I want to thank you so much for being part of the broadcast that has come your way from Namugongo. And of course, our team that the team that has been there, our camera persons, you've seen them hustle, run with the cameras here and there to ensure that they actually give you everything, and that in the comfort of your living rooms, in your offices and wherever you are, you do not actually miss out on any action as we see the Archbishop there being laid to rest. Our camera persons, Isaac Nyonyintono, Faluk Rwama, Priscilla Namara and Margaret Kabagweri. We very much want to thank you for being there. And of course, we also want to thank the teams that have ensured that they actually do their best. The engineering team, Michael Chimanje, Michael Ampire Dwoka, Mike Apire Dwoka, William Kasirye, Zikso Karonado, Thieno Bernard, Hilary Katureve, and Alpha Lubwama. Thank you so much for being there. And of course, back to us in studios here, we want to thank those who have been behind the cameras in the control here to see actually what happens. Everybody in studios here with me to thank my graphics persons, Herbert Semiano and Henry Yiga. And of course, Tony Jofrowana there, who has been doing that running commentary in Nachianja in Namugongo. We want to thank you so much. And of course, the leadership of the supervisor on site, Sophia Matovu. And of course, our TV manager here, Jen Kasumba, who has also ensured that this broadcast comes to you your way. And ultimately to our executive producer, the managing director, Mr. Agaba Winston David. We want to thank everybody for being part of the broadcast here in at UBC, as we saw that. Now, before I personally sign out here, I just want to again tell you that from my rich archives of Uganda Broadcasting Corporation TV, we'll just reach there. It's only UBC that can actually give you this, as we now take you back a little to that year when the Archbishop, now whom we've laid to rest, was being consecrated, taking on that high office of the Church of Uganda. We'll take you there. I want to thank you so much. For me and on my behalf, Jagend Semakula Zikusoka, thanking you all for God and my country, and welcome you now too. This again video for the consecration, as we thank you so much for being part of the broadcast. Good evening.
Sunday 29th January 1995 was another memorable day in the Anglican Church of Uganda. This is the day when the new Archbishop of the province of the Church of Uganda, His Grace Livingstone Nkoyoyo'S, was officially enthroned. The colorful ceremony of his enthronement took place at St. Paul's Cathedral, Namirembe, where thousands of Christians and non-Christians thronged to witness the enthronement of the 60th Archbishop of the province of the Church of Uganda. I will tell about my Savior. I will feel just and forgive. My soul from bondage. The Most Reverend Livingstone Nkoyoyo'S, 55, replaces the 65-year retired Archbishop, Dr. Yona Okoth.
I'm just retiring of the